Happy New Year. You may not know the story of why or how I quit teaching, so I thought I would take a second to share that story with you. January is always a special time of the year because it always takes me back to the moment that I decided that maybe teaching wasn't for me anymore. And it was the month that I decided to start my tutoring business and take that leap of faith and see what the universe held for me. So I taught at 2 different schools before I stopped teaching, and the school that I was teaching at right before I left was so great. I had really great staff around me, a really sweet principal, and I had great kids, great parents. I was really blessed and really enjoyed my school. However, there were many things that were being implemented from the top. I know that that's out of a lot of admin's control, and things that were being put onto us as teachers to implement in our classroom surrounding iReady and data and grouping our kids just based on those numbers, when I knew as a teacher who was around these kids for however many hours a day what they were capable of and what group they should actually be in. So we were sitting in a meeting and we were told of this new, method that we were being expected to do and use in our classrooms, and I was just fed up. I felt like I wasn't being listened to from the people up top. I felt like they had no idea what was even going on in our classrooms. They didn't know our kids, and they just wanted a computer program to lead everything basically and take the reins of our decision-making process in the classroom. I can't imagine what it's like now. So the frustration bubbled up inside me during this meeting. I left. I was so annoyed and so frustrated. And I got in my car and I thought to myself, what is it that I can do right now to leave teaching? I don't want to go back to school and get another degree. I just want to be able to jump right into whatever is next. But I want out. I want to do something different. I don't want to do this for the next 27 years. I can't see it. I just can't see that happening. So I thought, well, I played softball growing up. I played softball in college, and I was familiar with giving lessons, like softball lessons. And I was like, okay, what skills do I have that I could give some sort of lesson? And then it came to me, I was like, I can tutor. I'm a teacher. I have all the skills to work with kids and help them grow in a one-on-one setting. And so I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so I started so rinky-dink, and I just made Facebook posts and a little Facebook group, and I started. And within like a couple days, I had my first client, and she was amazing. And then from there, it just kind of started to grow. So January is when I started. And then by July, I was able to leave the classroom and do that full time. And so in July, I had so many clients. Had started a learning pod, a little homeschool learning pod where I was working with a few kids at one time. And at that point, I was doubling and tripling my teacher income and working like half the hours. And so at that point, it made sense for my husband and I called my principal over the summer and let her know what my plans were, and she was so supportive and so sweet and just very nice. But it all started in January, and that's why January has a special place in my heart, and I love to reshare that story every time this time of year comes back around. And so after tutoring for a while full time, I decided to take what I learned on my own journey and put it into an online course for other teachers. And no, you don't have to be a teacher to tutor. Anyone can tutor. It does help to have experience in the classroom and with kids, but really anyone can tutor. But anyway, so I took everything that I used on my own journey and I put it into a self-paced online course called the Tutoring Toolkit. And then I also made another little course called the Learning Pod Toolkit, which dives into that pod that I was talking about, the little homeschool pod, which is a really great way for teachers to go full-time faster when you create, kind of like a homeschool co-op sort of thing. And then that led to me getting onto social media to talk about my tutoring business, which then led into creating funny teacher videos, the ones that you see now. And so while I do just create content full-time now, I also am still helping teachers with their tutoring businesses with my courses, the Tutoring Toolkit and the Learning Pod Toolkit, which are also available to bundle together, and it's called The Bundle. Surprise. And those resources can be found at the Schmink in my Schmio, or you can comment January down below and I will shoot you a link to my resources so that you don't have to go searching for them. January is such a great time to start something new because who knows, by summer, you could be where I was and ready to leave if that's something that you're wanting to do. But having a job and still being able to teach and have that safety net while you slowly build clients was such a great way to do it for me. And so I encourage other people to try it out now as well. Wishing you all the best, and drop any questions or comments. I will do my best to answer them. Shoot me an email if you need to. But yeah, I'm here to help however I can. Happy January.